Hello, everyone, and welcome to Humanist Reacts. So, it didn't take long. I didn't expect it to take long. I didn't expect that I could last long. Um, we're continuing with Vincent's tale. This time, we'll only be doing one video, um, but this one is The Bedroom. You all already know that. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title of the video. You're not surprised by any of this. You've heard the song before. You've probably seen this video before too. I have done none of those things, and now I'm going to. That's the short version of everything. Let's wrap it up quick so we can get into it. Let's get into it. Wait, before we get into that, um, very interesting guitar solo there. Um, it was bluesy, but it wasn't in a blues scale, or at least not one that I recognized anyway. Not that I know all the blues scales or anything like that, but it didn't sound like it was in a blues scale to me, but it was very bluesy. Um, very interesting. Sorry, continuing.
Anger. Have you ever felt anger with nowhere to place it? Vincent felt cold, neglected and jaded, impotent, empathy castrated. Look for the new thing, always look for the new thing, but never look inside, never look within, without, above, below. Same thing. Wait, it gets deeper than that. The insane thing is sane men living in insane terrain, contort insane brains that are kind of deranged, strange, without the factor of cause and effect. Factually, the man's a casualty of constant neglect. Let's start at the start. Vincent was born in the
Wait, before we get so some of you are about to learn for the first time that we pause over here and we talk a lot over here. Anger with nowhere to place it. This is going back. It's continuing the story, explaining where Vincent was at when he was picking fights with everybody, lashing out at the world. He had anger and he didn't know where to place it. He didn't know who to place the blame on. He wanted to blame everybody. He felt neglected, had no empathy, and he kept looking for the new thing. As Ren says here, always the new thing. Looking for a new thing to fill that hole, to make him feel whole, to get rid of his anger, but never look inside. Never look within yourself. Always just try and fill it, something external. Never look at yourself and realize that you're the problem. Hmm. Never look within, without, above, below, same thing. And then he says, wait, it gets deeper than that. So I think what he means by that is he's talking about monism. He's talking about all of us being one. The oneness of the universe. That's what I think he's talking about anyway. The insane thing is sane men living in insane terrain can turn insane. Brains that are kind of deranged, strange. The insane thing is sane men living in insane terrain can turn insane. You don't have to. It's not that you're insane. It's that the world around you is insane, and that turns you insane. So that's part of looking without as well. The man's a casualty of constant neglect. Let's start at the start. Now, I imagine he's going to talk a little bit about the neglect that Vincent grew up with. But I'm thinking of the neglect of himself. The way that he's neglected taking care of himself by trying to seek external validation for everything. Trying to fill the tedium with alcohol and fighting, and that all turns to anger. Because he's neglected himself. So he's a casualty of constant neglect within himself, constantly neglecting himself. Is one way of thinking about it. Let's get back to it.
And living in insane terrain can turn insane brains that are kind of deranged, strange, without the factor of cause and effect. Factually, the man's a casualty of constant neglect. Let's start at the start. Vincent was born in the dark, home birth to a mother painted scars on her arm. Track march from the dragon, China white in the palm. Shooting up the birth canal, Vinny fell out like yarn. Tumbled out, himself unraveling, and that was the thing. Exceptionally average grade, sprayed with low self-esteem. From the fire to the frying pan, painting it green. When it's the cash that rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, funny Vinny. He weren't ever good at hustling, shitty jobs that he was dead and stocking. Started a combustion, nothing. Pulled him out of debt, the debt collector's rushing to be stripping him of everything. Eventually, there's nothing. The cycle is a cycle for a psychopath on ice. The day repeats, the days are weeks, the weeks the most your life. When the day's done, it's the same one. It's a repeat, it's a rerun. A deja vu religion, a foreboding of a prison. Whole Britain, Great Britain, how Britannia ruled the wave. We started out with intentions and we ended up like slaves. Drink to kill the tension, but the drinks cost your wage. What helps you is what kills you when you're living too deep.
All right. Vincent was born in the dark, home birth to a mother painting scars in her arms, track marked from the dragon, China white in her palm. Shooting up the birth canal, Vinny fell out like yarn. So, his mother was a heroin addict. For those of you who don't know, that's what China White is. Um, Most of you probably already know this. By the time you make it to me, you already know all of these things anyway. If you didn't know them the very first time that you heard the song. So, but as you probably already know, then that's what China White is. Tumbled out himself unraveling. So going with the yarn, continuing with the yarn theme there. He fell out like yarn unraveling. And that was the theme. Exceptionally average grade, sprayed with low self-esteem. So an overachiever. From the fire to the frying pan, painting it green. When it's the cash that rules everything around me, green, get the money. Obviously, that's reference to Wu-Tang Clan. And he's talking now about how Vinny is he's doing well in class, but he's struggling with his self-esteem. One of the things that he does to try and plug that hole is to try and get money, because money is what you're told you're supposed to have to be successful, to be respected, and to feel fulfilled in Western society. So he was never good at hustling. Shitty jobs. It was dead end, stuck in, started a combustion. Nothing pulled him out of debt. The debt collectors rushing to be stripping him of everything. So pull to materialism and the cycle that creates, a cycle of debt and earning more money, spending more money, so then you have to earn more money so that you can buy more things. And all the while you're buying things that you can't even afford to buy, you're going in debt for them, because maybe this material thing will fill the void. Eventually, there's nothing. Cycle is a cycle for a psychopath on ice. We just talked about the cycle. The day repeats. The days are weeks. The weeks are most your life. Talking about tedium again. Repetition. Going through life feeling like every day is the same. Every week is the same. And that's all there is to your life. Deja vu. Everything just repeats. The cycle. Tedium. Boredom. Lack of fulfillment. Drink to kill the tension, but the drinks cost your wage. What helps you is what kills you when you're living to decay. You turn to alcohol or something else to try and help kill the tedium. And it just takes more of your money too, just like everything else. You were already struggling with money, now you're struggling with money even more. And what helps you is what kills you. The drink is slowly killing you. When you're living to decay, when your whole life is just to exist. Anyway, let's get back into it.
Drink to kill the tension, but the drinks cost your wage. What helps you is what kills you when you're living to decay.
And then he takes a drink. Notice sunflowers and self-portrait are on the wall. This room is set up very similar.
Vinny starts to drink to let go. Soon he's drinking, cause when he don't drink, every day is a day on death row. So he drinks so we don't have to think. Mercy. bittersweet. When the spirit that's inside of him sinks in his teeth, and the months turn over, May to October.
Wait. So this is what we were talking about. Vinny drinks to let go. Soon he's drinking because when he don't drink, every day is a day on death row. Soon you're drinking just because you have to drink. Because not drinking is worse than drinking. Because you can't imagine life without it. So we drink so we don't have to think. Because when you're stuck inside of here, you make yourself miserable real quick. You have to find fulfillment outside of yourself. But it can't be by collecting things or by ingesting things. My feeling is that it has to be by giving things away. Giving of yourself. And that's the way you find fulfillment. Some people can do that through art. Some people do that through working in soup kitchens or giving back to their communities in other ways. But you have to find a sense of purpose outside of what's in your head. Anyway, back to it.
Sinks in his teeth, and the months turn over, May to October. More days pissed than the days he spent sober. Skin looks older, demeanor gets colder. Sledgehammer swing to that chip on your shoulder. A cold prison deep in alcoholism. 40% proof, no juice. Inhibition get loose by decision and taboos. When we're living for the booze, who's who he lose himself to? One too many, 1, 2, 3 shots down. Drown those sorrows up in London town. If we in for a penny, we in for a pound. Fate comes full circle. Now it's Vinny boys round.
Right, and there's the Van Gogh painting, The Bedroom, which is what this is. The setting is intended to represent. Right down to the towel or robe that's hanging on the wall. Which I thought was interesting. Anyway, so Vincent is fully alcoholic. And this is going back to the theme of the tales so far. The main theme is the cyclic nature of trauma. Jenny and Screech's mom died to violence. Jenny and Screech both died to violence as well. Vincent's mom was a heroin addict. Vincent's an alcoholic. Anyway. What else is going on here? What? Wait a second.
Simon.
Wait. I didn't know this was gonna happen. I thought Richard's Tale was all the okay, alright, I gotta get ready. Alright.
Start singing as the screws murder silence. Stand on my Miranda, my right to remain violent. One man's resistance is another man's tyrant. tyrant. When tyrants make the law, they go to war with non-compliance. Locked up, Vinny been locked up since his mother knocked up. Kitty grew up fast, pulled his socks up, chop chop. Keep that credit top top. Time is money, tick tock. Quantify the price upon your soul and then it's chop shop. Not.
Wait. So we're going back to Richard, who was the man who, the cop who arrested Vincent. It's also the cop who killed Screech in the Tales of Vinny and Screech. Or I'm sorry, it's the Tales of Jenny and Screech, not Vinny and Screech. Calling himself Vinny's got me getting tongue-tied now. So this is obviously after Vincent gets arrested. I'm assuming this is taking place after the arrest here. The arrest that happened at the end of Self-Portrait. Sirens start singing as the screws murder silence. Stand on my Miranda, my right to remain violent. Miranda rights, right to remain silent, right to remain violent. Okay. One man's resistance, another man's tyrant. When tyrants make the laws, they go to war with non-compliance. Okay. So this is still Vincent being being angry, essentially being angry at the world. Locked up, Vinny been locked up since his mother knocked up. Kitty grew up fast, pulled his socks up. So this is not the first time that Vincent's been in trouble with the law. Alright.
Keep that credit top top. Time is money, tick tock. Quantify the price upon your soul and then it's chop shop. Not particularly special. Vinny spent his life a vessel for the musings of the devil. Repetition caused some issues. Turned a hide into a jackal. Building pressure in the kettle. Bubble up to boiling level. Ooh man, he's a mad lad. Falling on the warpath. Vinny split the atom like a Nagasaki bloodbath. Skies are raining black ash. Copper car lights flash. Red and blue kaleidoscope. Some folks don't like that. Never mind, just a victim of society. The one that serves you alcohol and sells you your sobriety. The one that sells you sex as it pedestals virginity. The one where we elect these lying pests with God ability. One to the two to...
Wait, never mind. Just a victim of society. The one that serves it, Vinny. He's talking about Vinny here, Vincent. Vincent is a victim of society. The society that serves you alcohol, then sells you sobriety. The one that sells you sex as it pedestals virginity. The one where we elect these lying pests with gullibility.
Alcohol and sells you your sobriety. The one that sells you sex as it pedestals virginity. The one where we elect these lying pests with God ability. One to the two to the three to the one. Our boy spun his own web-fed tarantulas come like. Nine to the nine through his crimes timelines intersect. Richard's fate was designed.
Okay. So now we're gonna rehash what we saw in the shorts. I did watch all of the shorts for Richard's Tale. I reacted to them at first, or started reacting to them, and then I realized there wasn't really much for reaction there, so I didn't end up recording the whole thing, and I'm not going to publish those or anything. So, but yeah, so here's Richard after he killed Screech.
Paint the picture, set the...
Wait. This is Richard set the scene. Richard's Tale set the scene. I'm so glad that Genius has these stacked one after the other so that I can easily find them, because I would have been so lost. All right, paint the picture, set the scene.
It's 2019. Richard and a boy named Screech. The hands of fate, they touch and reach. Siblings buried, blood it bleeds. Etched in Richard's memories. Falls a model, troubled sleep. Takes a time of absent leave. Hitting the bottle to soften the blow in the walls of yourself, and there's nowhere to go. When his friends on the force, they don't call, they don't show. Go to therapy, raggedy, seem to plateau. When his popo went loco and woe so low that his mojo no mo, no rebound, no yo-yo. And so the time it moved slow-mo. You see the case was never closed, cause the motive was confusing. Orphan killed his sister, but his sister was removed when the mother died in childbirth. But dying womb life brings the cycle of samsara. Always was quite amusing.
Man, okay. So talking about Richard trying to deal with the emotions and trauma that were brought up when he had to murder a 14-year-old boy. Say had to. I don't want to let him off quite that easy, but when he murdered a 14-year-old boy in the line of duty, we'll say that. But siblings buried, blood it bleeds, etched in Richard's memories. Thoughts are muddled, troubled sleep, takes a time of absent leave. He took some time off work. We know this from the shorts, so this is just rehashing this in the form of song. Hitting the bottle to soften the blow. He started drinking a lot at home when he was on absent leave, hitting the bottle to soften. So, and we're seeing parallels now between Richard, the cop, and Vincent, the boy that he's currently got locked up in the back of his car. Hitting the bottle to soften the blow. When the war's with yourself, then there's nowhere to go. That's a tough line. Going to therapy, but it's not helping. So he turns to alcohol. The cycle of samsara. That's a Hindu term. I don't remember exactly what it means, but it's something like a wheel. Samsara is like a wheel of life and death, something like that. It's essentially, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Sister was removed when the mother died in childbirth, but dying womb life brings the cycle of samsara. Always was quite amusing. Brother killed his sister, but the records seem to show the brother never met his sister, didn't even know. So the tragedy was a catastrophe, a fate fucked up. Richard's losing sleep while his whole family's talked up.
Now we're moving to the 5 stages of grief. My God. Okay, so now we get to see him in therapy. There's so much more going on in this than what I expected there to be.
The 5 stages of grief is a common psychological model, often used to provide reassurance to all those stricken by loss. For loss comes with a cost like frostbite, shockingly cold, paving the road to decomposure, decomposing your soul. 1. Denial, pretending for a while, reality retired, but everything is changing. Richie lost the will to smile, how to reconcile when murdering a child. The 2nd stage is anger, feel it bubbling the bile. Anger, damn the man that served the hand that wrote the plan. If God is will that's good and grand, then damn we are all a damn forsaken by creation. Revelations Richard cannot stand. The 3rd stage is bargaining, begging God for second chance. Lord, I know it is a reach, but I'm begging on my knees. Resurrect the boy James, resurrect the boy Screech. I'll devote my life to thee, I will live a life of peace. Stage 4 is depression, that's a lesson taught in grief. Depression, demonic like possession, that feeds upon this spark for life. No water is refreshing, no sunlight brings him warmth, no sleep will ever bring resting. His guilt and doubt are oh so loud, the silence sounds so deafening. Depression, depression, the numbing of expression.
Hang on, Jesus. This beat is sick. I was so focused on his words for so long, and then I started noticing that beat, and all of a sudden I lost complete track of his words because I was just bobbing to the beat. Yeah, I got distracted by that beat for a minute. We're talking about the 5 stages of grief. I always thought it was 7 stages of grief. Yeah, so apparently there's a model for 5 stages and there's a model for 7 stages. But denial, pretending for a while, reality retired, but everything's changing. Richie lost the will to smile. How to reconcile when murdering a child. Second stage is anger, feel it bubbling the bile. Anger damned the man that served the hand that wrote the plan. If God is will, there's good and grand. We're damned, we all are damned. So basically saying in his anger, feels like, if whatever happens is God's will, then we're all damned. Yeah, as an atheist, I don't have to deal with that part too much. But I used to. I wasn't always an atheist, and it's a tough place to be in. It's a tough feeling to have.
Life, no water is refreshing, no sunlight brings him warmth, no sleep will ever bring resting. His guilt and doubt are oh so loud, the silence sounds so deafening. Depression, the numbing of expression, the negative obsession, ruminating in oppression. Stressing is a lesson when your mind begins reflecting. That's stage number 5. 5 is acceptance.
Okay. And now we move to Richard's Tale, Part 5, Acceptance.
Souls get shaken up, the road's never quite ideal, but slow rise, dust it off. And let me tell you something, Richie, man, I'm proud, cause you pulled a stitch from the seam, the wound was open weeping. Felt like a regression, but that flesh was set for healing. You wrestled imperfections, misdirections, what with demons. Most demons are a fallen angel, truth has double meanings. Perspective disconnects the trauma, trauma turns to lessons. The biggest curse you'll ever face could be your greatest blessing. Remember, in the darkest times, no need for second guessing. No path is ever linear, a stumble leads to stepping. You're a soldier, a scholar of life's sorrow, and day follows day. There will always be tomorrow when it gets colder. Whatever, it's only weather. Rain feeds the crops, let them grow, think clever. I'm so fucking proud of you, Richie, my boy. I know you're itchy, my boy, to get to work and deploy. Serve and protect my don, in for the right reason. I know you think you've done wrong, but look at who you become. It's your first day at work, big man. Hold that head up high, my friend. Come on. We're all proud of you, Richie. I hope you get out there and smash it. I mean, what could go wrong?
Something's gonna go wrong. Yeah, something's gonna go wrong. Wasn't much to talk about with that last part, with the acceptance. Very, very positive vibe overall. Very congratulatory. Yeah, it's a big deal when you work through something like that. It's worth celebrating, worth being proud of. So now, though, what happens next? I don't know. I can't wait to find out. And most of you all probably already know what comes next and you know what's in store for me. So come back when I watch Vincent's Tale Starry Night later. And if you stuck around this long, I greatly appreciate it. Please like and comment and subscribe. And until next time, y'all take care.